Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you in the Daily Transform series that we do at 10 a.m. every day in the morning. I am Dr. Sumer, and with me I'll be Dr. Deepti will be soon joining, and we will talk about today a very important topic. And the topic is something which is being missed upon in a lot of medical schools. It is not being talked about in you know in the circles of medical students. It is like it has become fashionable to say that you need to hustle, you need to grind, you need to work hard. We understand that, but sometimes despite wanting to work hard, you find yourself not being able to work hard. You find yourself fatigued out, you find yourself getting tired and burnt out. So do you feel the same? Have you ever felt in the last few days the burnout or the fatigue, and ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं एकदम थक चुका हूँ, ऐसा लग रहा है कि कुछ कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ. So let us try to find the reasons behind it. First of all, I want you to understand the first line that I wanted you to talk about today. Why are we getting fatigued out? One of the reasons for feeling fatigued out is that I'm constantly comparing with others. Everyone is ahead of me. You're always feeling that everyone is ahead of me. I have this constant comparison happening in life. And this is going to be very tiring out. Dr. what is your take on it?
Yes, I think when we talk about burnout, it is very real, right? And that's because as people with a lot of potential, we want to excel, right? We want to be at the top of everything. But I want to really tell you one thing that बहुत सारी and when I say that मेरी जितनी भी नॉलेज है अपार्ट फ्रॉम ऑब्स एंड गाइनी उसका सारा क्रेडिट जाता है मेरे बेटा हाफ को डॉक्टर सुमेर
अरे
राइट
भाई. हाँ.
ऑब्स एंड गाइनी समथिंग जो मैंने खुद पढ़ी है बट बाकी सब कुछ आई थिंक वट एवर लेसन आई हैड इन माई लाइफ इज थ्रू माई हस्बैंड बट येस दिस इज समथिंग ही टेल्स मी ऑफ्टन हम सारी लड़ाइयाँ एक साथ नहीं लड़ सकते डू यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस there may be multiple things that are bothering you at this particular point of time. But we are humans at the end of the day and we have finite energy and finite capacity, right? So we cannot fight all battles together. This is a reality. So you all have to also understand this. The sooner the better. मेरे जितने बड़े होकर मत समझो. The sooner the better, right? Which means when we feel that we are burning out, okay, for something A, B, C, D, so many things happening in life, you have to choose which is the battle that you want to fight currently. And then put your finite energy into that, and you will come out as a better person, somebody who can hold the ground, right? So believe me, it happens to us as well. Burnout is very real. Dr. Sumer, your
And
keywords.
definitely, and one of the things that I was saying is that we have to stop comparing with others. We have to focus on what we are and am I improving every single day. And we need to choose our battles. Like Dr. Deepti said, we cannot fight everything together. Also, what I've seen is another reason for feeling burnout is that you are going into a very monotonous mode, and maybe you are avoiding some things. Like if you hear our transform series, and we've already talked about it at length in every of them, that you need to balance in the final month your testing, your theory, your dvt, your previous year questions. You need to play around. कई बच्चे ना क्या कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ डीबीटी कर रहे हैं, तो फिर थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा ना. क्वेश्चन भी तो करने हैं, टेस्ट भी तो करने हैं. यू नीड टू किल द मोनोटनी, because if you don't kill the monotony, you will not feel engaged enough and you will start feeling more fatigued. So what are the reasons for feeling this fatigue and burnout? One is your constant comparison. बहुत सभी लोग जीत रहे हैं, उनको छोड़ सिर्फ अपने आप से कंपेयर करते हैं. दूसरा is के sometimes we are endlessly procrastinating. Now this is very important, that sometimes you're saying कि करता हूँ अभी करता हूँ, and you procrastinating, and in the end you have a, by the night you have panic कि अरे करना ही तो था, and you start doing a panic mode study, and that creates more stress rather than output. So, and also I can add a line that some of the children, and especially the medical students, they develop very unrealistic expectations out of themselves. Unrealistic expectations means Sir, in the final month, I want to study 16 hours a day, 14 hours a day.
And
Abhi,
I want to do it every day also.
it's not possible to do it for a stretch of time, and you put yourself under pressure that कि मैं तो बहुत अपने लिए standards बहुत high कर दिए, बहुत high expectation रख दी, कर नहीं पा रहे, and you feel fatigued out, burned out. You know, try to be a little realistic about your own capabilities and what you really want to do about life. That is, the things that we wanted to point out initially. Now I have few more things that I want you to do today. Today,
Also, Sumit,
I want you
before you tell them what they have to do, I have to, just talk about two small things. Whenever I feel burnout, and Dr. Sumit is going to give you the tips, but there are certain things which come my way and ignite the fire again. For example, Dr. Jansi Jagadesan's message. Sumit, can you just put that? She said she has recently attended the IMA Foxy HPV vaccination. Foxy is the Indian Federation for Obstetricians and Gynecologists. And in the entire training program, whatever they had taught, she says, is in my notes, and the notes are very high yielding. Yes, and when we teach, it is important to know that we're not just teaching you for a exam. It is going to help you whatever you do. Professional exam, Viva, NEET PG, INI set, maybe your conference. Thank you so much. But yes, these messages do brighten our day. And same thing holds for you. ये मैंने क्यों highlight कराया है? ये मेरे लिए मेरी victory है. आपके लिए छोटी छोटी victories आपकी life में भी आएंगी. Yes, so you have to look out for those small victories which prevent the burnout and reignite the fire within. Right? It is very essential to identify that small victories are going to come in everyone's life. Let's not consider them small. Let's celebrate them, and let's let them push you to the next level. Yes.
And I think, Dr. Deepti, even if you're not celebrating them, at least acknowledge the small
Yeah.
progress that you're making in your day. So we will begin today with a small exercise. I want you all to do it in your comments. Acknowledge any small progress that you made in the last week. Nothing negative. Anything that you feel you did better than the previous month in the last week, start typing it. So once you write it here, it will give you that confidence that you are acknowledging your own progress. Like एक बच्चा कह रहा है कि sir, I'm able to study 6 hours for since last 3 months every day. It is a
Very nice.
confidence.
And believe me, this 6 hours is way better than studying for 14 hours one day and then not studying at all. This consistency, even if it is a significant smaller amount, is way longer to sustain. It prevents the burnout, right?
एक बच्चा कह रहा है कि सर आई एम एबल टू आंसर द कॉन्सेप्ट्स इन एवरी क्वेश्चन, किसी भी प्लेटफॉर्म से पढ़े और डैम से पढ़ के मैं सारे कॉन्सेप्ट बता पा रहा हूँ.
Yeah,
एक बच्चा
that's
कह रहा है कि आई एम
truly
एबल टू ईट क्लीन नाउ. यस डॉक्टर दीप्ति.
ट्रूली मेरे को बहुत आसान होता है कि पकड़ना कि कौन हमसे पढ़ा है और किसने नोट्स नहीं पढ़े हैं, बिकॉज आई हैव सीन एंड इट इज नॉट समथिंग दैट आई जस्ट वांट टू हाईलाइट द थिंग. व्हाट आई हैव सीन इज कि अगर आप इधर उधर से पढ़ रहे हो, मे बी यू नो द स्टफ बट यू आर सुपर कंफ्यूज्ड. आई मीन बच्चों में ये कंफ्यूजन ए होगा या बी होगा, मतलब क्लैरिटी नहीं है थॉट प्रोसेस में या एल्गोरिदम्स में. Right? And I think with God's grace, with also our efforts, very humbly, I accept that when we teach, our purpose is to also give you clarity, not just bombard content at you. There has to be a way that the child has to think as a doctor when they are in a clinic, in an OPD, in an OT, in an emergency. It's very important that we have clarity of our thought process. ये हमारे डॉक्टरी का एक भाग है. इट हैज टू कम, इट हैज टू बी इन आवर सिस्टम. हमेशा देयर विल बी ऑप्शंस, ए बी सी डी सब कर सकते हैं, बट पहले क्या करना है? ट्राई इज समथिंग व्हिच इज सो एसेंशियल फॉर अस. वी नीड टू नो. So clarity of thoughts is very important. Application of your concepts is very important. You may read notes by buying them, but you have to ensure that you understand the concepts behind them. You're able to apply it. Yes?
अच्छा, मैं एक क्वेरी कर लेता हूँ बीच में। मनीष त्यागी का मैसेज आ रहा है बार बार कि सर एफएमजी का सीबीटी था 5 पे, वो 5 तारीख को, वो ऐप पे नहीं दिख रहा। सो बेटा उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन का लास्ट डेट खत्म हो गया होगा। सो इफ यू हैव रजिस्टर्ड फॉर इट, यू कैन डायरेक्टली गो टू योर ऐप एंड लुक फॉर दी
सीबीटी में
योर।
जाओगे, लॉगिन में आपको आपके क्रेडेंशियल्स आ जाएंगे एंड देन यू कैन गो एंड गिव योर सीबीटी.
Okay. Now, what we have told you today is that to handle burnout, you need to acknowledge your progress. And it may not be big, it may be small, but if you acknowledge it, you start telling yourself that I am going forward. The comparison has to be internal, not with others. And the
Yes,
second thing I'll tell
very
you is very
important.
important. I hear this line very often by students, and they would say, "Sir, I have to study, but I am unable to study." कितने बच्चे ये कह रहे हैं, "I have to study, but I am unable to study." ये जो वर्ड है ना, have to, ऐसा लग रहा है किसी ने जबरदस्ती तेरे को बिठा दिया पढ़ने के लिए। तेरी
Hmm.
मर्जी है ना, you've chosen to study. So today we are going to make a shift. Instead of saying, "I have to study," what will you say? You will say, "I choose to study." You know, what do you say?
एब्सोल्युटली राइट. ये तो मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि आवर लाइफ इज एन एवरेज सम ऑफ चॉइसेस वी मेक. मैंने एक बार पहले भी ये बोला था. इट इज नॉट वन बिग चॉइस कि मैं कौन सी ब्रांच सिलेक्ट करूंगा. पहले ब्रांच तक पहुंचना भी तो है. सो इट इज व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन इवेंचुअली इज गोइंग टू बी एन एवरेज सम ऑफ choices you make every day. So make them very consciously. And that's why when you have to choose, take a pause and see, introspect, right? What impact would this decision have in your life, not in others' life? Don't think, अगर मैं ज्यादा पैसे कमाऊंगा तो मम्मी पापा खुश होंगे, कोई और खुश होगा, पड़ोसी खुश होंगे. अरे, it doesn't matter, right? So you have to understand if the decision you have to take or the one that you're going to take, how is it going to impact your life? If it is changing your life significantly, आप मेरी बात समझो, ठीक है? मैं ये नहीं बोल रही कि मैं ये सोचूं कि आज मैं ये खाऊं या ये नहीं खाऊं, ठीक है? It's okay. You feel like eating something, go ahead, right? But when it comes to bigger
Control.
decisions, some things which are going to impact your life, you need to give a pause and you have to try and make the correct decision for yourself. The same decision may not be correct for someone else. It has to be the right decision for you in your circumstances in your life. Okay, and then it becomes a little easier to take the decisions.
और ना एक और चीज मैं बताना चाहता हूँ जो आपको बर्नआउट को अफेक्ट कर रहा है या फटीग को अफेक्ट कर रहा है। हमें ऐसा लग रहा है कि दुनिया में ना बाकी लोग तो 100% मोटिवेटेड परफेक्ट पढ़ रहे हैं, उनकी जिंदगी रोबोटिक चल रही है। कितने लोग को लगता है कि बाकी लोग ज्यादा मोटिवेटेड है और हमेशा मोटिवेटेड रहते हैं, मैं ही नहीं हूँ। एंड डे यू रियलाइज नो वन इज परफेक्ट, नो वन इज 100% मोटिवेटेड एवरी सिंगल डे, कोई भी नहीं है। अगर तुझे लग रहा है ना तुझसे नहीं हो रहा, तो ऐसा हो सकता है बहुतों से ना हो रहा हो।
एंड ये जो सर ने बोला है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है. मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दूंगी. आई विल नॉट नेम द बच्चा बट यस आई विल गिव एन एग्जांपल. एक स्टूडेंट है जो मुझसे बहुत कनेक्टेड है और बहुत टाइम से कनेक्टेड है एंड कुछ दिन से उसका कुछ भी मैसेज नहीं आ रहा था. तो आई वाज रियली रियली वरिड कि दिस इज सम पर्सन जो इतना मोटिवेटेड था कि मुझे हमेशा अपनी प्रोग्रेस खुद से बताता था, चाहे मैं रिप्लाई करूं नहीं करूं. ही डिडंट बॉदर, वो बस मैसेज भेजता था. तो जब 15 दिन से उसका मैसेज नहीं आया, आई वाज रियली रियली वरिड एंड आई ड्रॉप्ड अ मैसेज टू हिम and he said, and you will be shocked, he was expecting a very good rank in INISET. He still got a very good rank. He has a rank of 500. बट उसने अपने लिए ये बना लिया कि 500 रैंक पे तो मैम मुझसे बात ही नहीं करेंगी, मम्मी पापा भी मुझसे खुश नहीं है, आई एम नॉट वर्दी. इमेजिन एट 500 रैंक दैट बच्चा वाज सो डिप्रेस्ड, राइट, that he was thinking that he is not good enough, nobody will talk to him. So burnout is really real. And when I spoke to him, he said, ma'am, aap mujhse baat karoge? I said, why will I not talk to you? For me, you will always be special. You are not just a rank. You didn't message me. I was really worried whether you're okay or not. Right? So please understand that even टॉप रैंक होल्डर्स हैव बर्नआउट. वो कह रहे हैं मैम मुझसे अब इनिसेट के बाद पढ़ाई नहीं हो रही है, मेरी रैंक कितनी खराब आई है. कैन यू इमेजिन? यस. So burnout is really real and you have to understand that it happens with everyone. Everyone's life has some hurdles. It's not smooth. Okay?
और ना मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एंड दिस इज समथिंग दैट मी एंड और दीप्ति वी ऑलवेज इंक्लूड इन आवर ओन लाइफ आल्सो, यू नीड टू हैव सम रिकवरी जोन्स आल्सो ना। हर दिन हर समय यू कांट बी पम्प्ड अप कि मुझे जीतना है कि यू नीड टू हैव सम रिकवरी जोन्स। मे बी इट कुड बी अ स्मॉल वॉक एवरी डे, मे
Yes.
बी कनेक्टिंग टू योर पेरेंट्स इन अ मीनिंगफुल वे। कभी कभी क्या हो रहा है कि जब आप इतने स्ट्रेस्ड आउट हो, इतने यू रश में हो, इतने हसल मोड में हो, when you are talking to your parents, you are already in hustle mode. You're like, आपको क्या पता मेरी जिंदगी में चल रहा है, आपको नहीं पता, and you're actually fighting instead of creating a meaningful conversation. And you never meant to do that. वो भी नहीं करना चाहते थे, आप भी नहीं करना चाहते, but ultimately, you this becomes a kind of a teenage kind of a problem, but you're slightly older
अच्छा,
than that.
एक और चीज, कुछ ना
But
फैड्स
keep
हैं मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड
keep
में.
some recovery zone.
There are certain fads in the modern world because we've become so, we're looking at social media all the time. We think saying something fancy makes us also fancy. For example, I often hear talk about, I need my me time. Okay. Now, what is this me time? Are you going to be alone with yourself? But then you keep thinking the same things. You are in the same zone where you are not feeling good about yourself. What is this me time? Go talk to your friends, talk to your parents, talk to your siblings, have real life connections, create your relationships. You have to maintain them. It's a task, right? So please understand, Dr. Samir is very, very right. Sometimes you need that break from the thought of process. You have to break the thought process. And for that, maybe you have want to speak it out. Sometimes speaking it out helps. And then, at other times, maybe listening to other people's advice helps to break those thoughts, to push you. So definitely take a little break whenever you want. It
कभी
is
कभी
not something
कभी
to be
कभी
guilty about.
आई एम श्योर कभी कभी ऐसा भी होगा, किसी से बात करने का ना मन कर रहा हो, वो भी हो सकता है। तो मे बी एट दैट टाइम परस्यूइंग अ हॉबी माइट हेल्प यू, कि जो चीज करने में अच्छी लगती है, मे बी इट कुड बी म्यूजिक, इट कुड बी एनीथिंग दैट यू लाइक डूइंग अदर देन डूम स्क्रॉलिंग। कि अगर आप सारा दिन स्क्रॉल करना चाहते हो वो अलग बात है, वो हॉबी नहीं हो सकती, वो अलग बर्नआउट का कारण है। तो मे बी परस्यूइंग अ मीनिंगफुल हॉबी इन बिटवीन would be a good idea. I know of toppers who would go and play table tennis for half an hour, then come back, या कोई बैडमिंटन खेलने चला गया, कोई पेंटिंग कर रहा था, या जॉग करने चला गया। Having something meaningful would help you to recover your brain and put your brain away from the struggle. मतलब सारा दिन लड़ाई की सोचते रहेंगे कि ये तो मुश्किल हो जाए ना, उसके अलग जाना है। हैविंग अ डिजिटल डिटॉक्स कुड हेल्प, कि कुछ दिन डिवाइस से अलग हट जाएं, छोटी विन को भी सेलिब्रेट करें। एंड मे बी you start, and one of the things that is being recommended now a lot is keeping a journal of what you feel like. Maybe writing a little bit here to, maybe you're not wanting to talk to people, maybe you can talk to your diary as well. So all what we are trying to say is, don't look at yourself as a machine. You're not a machine. नई मशीन की तरह नहीं चल पाएंगे, so we need to have those recovery zones in between.
Okay, let me just take a few quick queries. The first one, how long? Because Atul ने बहुत बार लिख दिया. How long should I study in the last month? I think 10 hour is a good span of time because you're very close to the exam. So I think it is fair. ना वो बहुत ज़्यादा है और ना वो बहुत कम है. But consistency again is the key, right? And ये 10 घंटे में भी आपको divide करना है so that you don't burn out. There should be specific time period for revising your DVT or LRR, right? Then there should be specific dedicated time for your MCQs and specific dedicated time for your wrong diary. That gives you the variety also and it keeps you going as well.
And all we are here to tell you today is that the goal is that somebody is saying I play with my pet dog, somebody is saying I
I
spend time
garden,
in the
I
garden.
do,
So I think
yes.
those are very interesting hobbies that you have, and they help you because during gardening you're not thinking of MCQs. So that gives your MCQ brain time to relax. You need to let your MCQ brain breathe also, so that you come back to the MCQs again. उसको ऐसा ना हो ना पूरा थका डाल रहे हो. All we I also see some comments regarding my parents don't understand me. They're not, so maybe it's a good time then find at least one or two people who understand you, maybe a friend. You don't expect कि पूरा दुनिया आपको समझ पाएगी, बहुत मुश्किल है, नहीं समझ पाते, जिंदगी छोटी है, लोग चले जाते हैं, नहीं समझ पाते। एक तो कोई ऐसा होगा जो कोई समझ पा रहा हो, किसी से तो बात कर। and just take it out of your system.
I don't really know your situation, your circumstances, or anything. And this is not exactly for you when you hate your parents or you don't want to talk to them. It's something general that I want to say, and you can try it as well. There is a rule that you have to have in your life, and that rule is forgiveness. But that rule does not apply to everyone. Okay? This rule applies to some very special people in your life जिनकी गुस्ताखियां हमें माफ करनी चाहिए. It's very easy to break relationships, but it is very difficult to maintain them. है ना? सो कुछ तो लोग ऐसे होने चाहिए आपके सर्कल में. मैं नहीं कह रही सबको फॉरगिव कर दो, ठीक है? कर पाओ तो बहुत बड़ी बात है, तब तो आप खुदा ही हो, फॉरगिव एंड फॉरगेट जैसे कहते हैं. बट एटलीस्ट कुछ लोग ऐसे होने चाहिए जो जिनकी हर गलती माफ होनी चाहिए, है ना? एंड मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर हम कहीं से शुरुआत करें, ठीक है? आई रियली डोंट नो व्हाट योर सिचुएशन इज, मगर अगर हम कहीं से एक पहल करें, कई बार हम पहल नहीं करते एंड वो दरार बढ़ती ही चली जाती है. पहल करने से हम छोटे नहीं होते, ना हम कुछ लूज करेंगे, शायद कुछ गेन ही करोगे. तो ये थोड़ा सा अगर आप बना पाओ कि वो कौन से लोग हैं आपके सर्कल में जिनकी गुस्ताखियां माफ हैं, क्योंकि और जो बहुत उन्होंने आपके लिए किया है वो बहुत ऊपर है उससे, ठीक है? ट्राई करके देखो. मैं नहीं कह रही हूँ कि सबको फॉरगिव करो, या आई एम नॉट द पर्सन टू जज यू और टू एडवाइस यू एज वेल. इट इज समथिंग दैट आई फॉलो. मुझे लगता है दिस इज समथिंग दैट डॉक्टर सुमेर ऑल्सो फॉलोज. शायद हम भी सीखे हैं जिंदगी में, बट देयर शुड बी एटलीस्ट सम पीपल जिनके लिए आप ये अपना हम सो कॉल्ड ईगो छोड़ दें और थोड़ा सा कोशिश ज्यादा करें, तो इट मे बी अ लिटिल बेटर.
ऑल आई कैन से इज कि जब हम बहुत कुछ करना चाहते हैं जिंदगी से, हम ज्यादा चाह रहे होते हैं, तो कभी कभी क्या होता है, यू वी पुश अवरसेल्व्स टू हार्ड. हम अपने आप को जरूरत से ज्यादा हार्ड पुश कर देते हैं. इट इज हैपेंस समटाइम्स. इट मे बिगिन एज इरिटेबिलिटी. आप अपने आसपास के लोगों की तरफ इरिटेबल हो जाते हैं. समटाइम्स यू फाइंड इनएबिलिटी टू कंसंट्रेट. आप ज्यादा थक रहे होते हो, सर दर्द हो रहा होता है. यू फाइंड योरसेल्फ प्रोक्रेस्टिनेटिंग एंडलेसली. यू फाइंड योरसेल्फ मिसिंग लेक्चर्स. ये सब होना शुरू हो जाता है. So we have to understand and identify it early. It is not a weakness. It is just a signal that your body, your brain needs help. And that help could be, maybe adding the simple things that we have talked about. है ना? जितनी छोटी छोटी चीजें हमने बताई वो कर सकते हैं. लेकिन अगर उसके बाद भी सॉल्व नहीं होता, there is no harm in seeking professional help. So we want a disclaimer at the end of today's session is that, we are not mental health professionals. I'm a radiologist. She is a gynecologist. We are teachers with 25 years plus of experience. We are like people who have spent a lot of time in life, with varied peoples. So we want to share our experience in life. But if this does not work out for you and you still find yourself, unable to, achieve what you want to do, there is no harm in seeking professional help. That is what is our 2 cents into it. So now we are going to revise very quickly. Digital
And then
detox,
we'll take some queries, Sumit, from the chat box.
some weekly recovery days, some hobbies to pursue, some family talk, celebrate and acknowledge small victories, journal your thought process and your emotions. You would be able to get through all of it. आप कर पाओगे. So let me ask Dr. Deepti now to take some queries.
Okay, so first query, somebody is saying, is it okay to solve 100 MCQs a day from PYQ? So 100 MCQs is absolutely okay, but only from
not at the
PYQ.
cost of GT, not at the cost of grand test.
Yes, only from PYQ, not okay. PYQs आज की डेट में as it is repeat नहीं होते हैं. Only very few questions out of 200 will be exact repeats, but otherwise they are usually PYTs. So at this time, I would say don't just practice PYQs. They give you a very false hope that you are in a good shape, right? It is very essential to do PYTs. It is very essential to do mixed bag questions and to do some questions from variety of subjects in a day. Yes. So instead of doing PYQs, I would say give tests, preferably like a grand test, which cover the PYTs, right? And I always say to increase your, zone of coverage, alternate a GT with a mock, right? So that way you will be covering significant number of PYQs also, as well as PYTs. Okay. Then what else? There was a query where somebody is saying कि okay, Guerva is typing again and again. मुझे जैसे फिक्र ही नहीं है एग्जाम की, अब मैं थक गया हूँ. मुझे लगता है probably this is just a polite way of saying I'm giving up. Okay, so let's introspect, beta. Why do you want to give up? Okay, maybe recalling why you started in the first place would help you, right? And take it a little easy. You are more important than anything else. Write down your goals in life. You need to reignite the fire. Somebody should help you do that. So even if you need professional help, please do that. Do come to the morning transform sessions. Dr. Smith, you want to say something to him?
I just wanted to, I'm sure you've already answered that question. It is the idea is that you need to introspect, find what you want out of life. You need to do it, you will find it. एक बच्चे का क्वेरी था कि मैंने एफएमजी के लिए डैम्स पहले पढ़ा हुआ है, अब मैं नीट पीजी के लिए पढ़ना चाहता हूँ कि एफएमजी वाले नोट्स पढ़ूं कि नीट पीजी के लिए दोबारा से पढ़ूं. दोबारा से पढ़ना पड़ेगा बेटा, क्योंकि नीट पीजी के लिए थोड़ा सा लेवल और डेप्थ अलग है. नीट पीजी का पेपर एफएमजी के मुकाबले ज़्यादा मुश्किल आया था लास्ट ईयर, और एक्चुअली लास्ट ईयर नीट पीजी वाज इवन मोर टफ देन द इनिसेट आल्सो. सबसे टफेस्ट पेपर था. So, you need to change the approach, and best way is to get into a NEET PG course.
Okay, then there was another question which
Madam, there are
somebody
many
has.
questions on the PYT PDF that you have now created.
Yes. So everyone must go through the NEET PG PYQ PDF that very quickly tells you the PYTs as well. कौन से topics आ रहे हैं? We have to ensure that we are doing the topics well. Plus, this ensures that you are not going to do the exact PYQs wrong. So please use, it's a wonderful resource. I have recently added 2 more sections to it. We have added FMT and micro. We'll add another one today itself, right? So every day we are trying to put at least 1 or 2 subjects. So far we have covered around, I think 9 subjects or 10 subjects. We would be bringing in more, right? Apart from that, please see NEET PG and FMG PYQ ka BAP 3.0. In PYQ ka BAP, we have made it a point that we are not just telling you the answers to PYQ, but we are discussing PYTs. It is worth the watch. Okay, very, very essential. And then I have told you, when you cover grand test and mock test with us, we are making it as a faculty. Every faculty submits their own test papers. And this is why when you cover GTs and mock tests with us, we will cover everything for you, from exact PYQs to PYTs, as well as the third P. Can you tell me the third P? I always tell there are 3 Ps. In my class also, you remember? Passenger, push and passage. What is the 3 P that I'm talking about right now? PYQs, PYTs, and probable new questions from the same topic or around that. So, previous year questions, previous year topics, and probable new topics, right? So this is very, very essential. So when you do the GTs and mock tests with us, you will see that all this is already being covered. Lastly, I would say anybody who feels their subject is weak or they need more MCQ practice, you can do the SWTs. मैंने पहले भी बोला है, SWT is a paper that is made by the faculty again, and it comes with videos, and it is made from last 7-year PYTs, right? So it gives you a very good coverage for PYTs as well, and it goes back to 7 years. So our faculty makes it every year with videos, and we are making them on last 7-year PYTs. Okay.
And now, towards the end of today's session, all we want you to know is that, and this is something we want to talk to you as parents, as teachers, कि बॉस ये ना एक थॉट है, ओके, एक थॉट है कि हमें कुछ जिंदगी में बड़ा करना है, वो आपके मन में है, एंड आई नो you are all those, high achievers, स्ट्रंग इंडिविजुअल्स जिनको ज़्यादा चाहिए ज़िंदगी से। लेकिन कई बार क्या होता है जब ऐसे अनएक्सपेक्टेड जर्नी लंबी हो जाती है, जैसे पेपर पोस्टपोन हो गया, 3 महीने एक्स्ट्रा आ गए, सडनली यू फील दैट फटीग हिटिंग यू, फटीग, बर्नआउट की, यार कब तक करता रहूंगा, कब तक पढ़ूंगा, एंड इंस्टेड ऑफ बीइंग द हाई अचीवर दैट यू आर, you find your output reducing. Those are the signals and you start getting irritable, talking to negative things, वो सब होना शुरू हो जाता है। तो मैं तो ये कहूंगा, अगर ऐसा हो रहा है, दिस इज द टाइम टू रीसेट द माइंड. You don't have to study, you have chosen to study. Change the mindset, change, celebrate small victories, acknowledge small progress that you are making, and create a recovery zone, maybe talking to people that matter. If we say that talk to friends that matter, and you say मेरा कोई दोस्त नहीं है, it is okay. तो कोई तो होगा जो मैटर करता होगा, उससे करते हैं, कोई नहीं है तो डायरी लिखते हैं, अपने लिए खुद से बात कर लेते हैं, दुनिया करेगी बाद में, हो सकता है आपकी डायरी बाद में बेस्ट सेलर बन जाए, ऐसा भी क्या है. So it is, idea is to do the catharsis. You need to take the anger out of your system
So maybe
somewhere.
we have two more important queries that I don't want to leave out when we've covered so many queries. The first is Dheeraj. Last few days for FMG, what would be the advice? We've covered it previously, Bache. So what we want you to do is now DFX. We want you to do at least 2 revisions of DFX now in the time left. Okay. Plus, I have told you to give the FMG CBTs. There are 2 CBTs. One is tomorrow on the 5th, and then there's another one, I think, on the 14th. Give both the CBTs. They come with video discussions. Please listen to them. Third thing, there is a book by DAMS called as FMG PYQs. Okay, so that is a special book. We have covered almost 5 to 7 year PYQs in that book. Only and only the FMG PYQs. You can use that book now as well to ensure that the exact PYQs you are aware of. So primarily it is DFX now, multiple fast revisions. It covers everything. DFX will cover images also, algorithms also, tables also, one-liners also, clinical vignettes also. Okay? The second query I want to take up, and I would ask Dr. Sumay to also add anything to it. Aryan is asking, ma'am, please tell 2 lines about new interns. So I will do a separate section as well on YouTube for new interns. But yes, at this time, in internship, I want you to remember these 2 lines. Internship is a blessing in disguise. That's point number 1. Number 2, clearing exam with good results is very much possible in internship. Third, the best program to do during internship is test and discussion, which is like a hybrid, which means for 6 days, you're going to do a self-study with back to basic. You go through the videos, the notes, practice DQBC, PYQs and MCQs, which are topic wise. And at the end of the week, you come and do a test, attend the live discussion with the faculty on the app, and go through your mistakes. This way, you have target oriented study which keeps you pushed during your internship to meet these small weekly targets.
So in the final month, if you are a FMG aspirant, your goal should be DFX, FMG CBTs, FMG mock test, and previous year questions of NEET PG and FMG. All these students have to do, whether Indian, foreign, both have to do the previous year question last 3 years of NEET PG and FMG exam. So FMG का रिवीजन कोर्स होगा DFX, साथ में PYQ का बाप से तीनों साल के पेपर हो जाएंगे, और मॉक टेस्ट और CBT देना है. For NEET PG, we have always said last month has to be DVT, grand test, PYQs. DVT, grand test, PYQs, primarily.
But for NEET PG, I have also added, you can even now combine LRR and DVT, especially your weak subjects. You can very easily combine the two. So you can do LRR of one subject and DVT of another, and similarly keep rotating it. Plus, yes, please practice one GT alternating with a mock, right? So this Sunday, everyone is going to give a mock that I'm going to upload in the test series section. So this is the target for this Sunday. Last Sunday, we have given a grand test. Usse pehle we had given mock 9. Coming Sunday, everyone, you have to promise me that you will give the mock test paper on the app, right? So DAMS Alpha, I will be uploading the new mock in the test series section, and everyone has to give it. Let me know your number of correct questions. and then we will see which zones are you currently in. Okay?
And now with DAMS, majorly on the app with the DAMS Alpha Edition, we would always want you to utilize what we are giving you through the app, through the material, through the test. We're working very hard to create all of it. So I would request Dr. Deepti, maybe today or tomorrow, whenever we can find out time, we can also schedule a session to show a daily routine to the student that how if they're studying
How
on
to
the app,
use back to basics even now, and for
in
anyone
a,
who
in
is
a day.
starting fresh.
Yeah. So I think we can do a separate session on that. And we acknowledge that you are all working hard, and I want you to understand that whatever may be the outcome of any exam that you're giving, whatever may be the outcome of anything that you're doing in your life, does not reflect on your self-worth. It does not make you less loved by your parents or your teachers. It does not affect your self-worth. आप अपने आप को कैसे देखते हैं, आपके प्यार करने वाले आपको कैसे देखते हैं, उस नंबर से उस पर कोई भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Learn to detach it. So look at the outcomes without feeling the shame or without looking at it as if it's a final verdict on your life. Look at it as one of the things happening here. So once you start doing it, you will feel a little better, and be realistic about your targets. I'm sure you'll do well in life.
अच्छा, every time you say okay, I see a new query. एक और query answer कर रही हूँ. Diksha is asking how to do mixed questions. See, if you follow the daily targets that we are giving you at DAMS, you're automatically covering more than 50 mixed bag questions. So let me tell you how. Every day there is a daily quiz which is free for everyone on the home page of DAMS Alpha. 5 MCQs. Okay, very, very high yielding. Next, go to the test series. The following tests that I'm going to mention are free for everyone. Anyone can give it on our app. So first part is Transform 10x test. Every day or alternate day, a new test is uploaded. I am currently running two series. One is clinical, one is IBQs. So I alternate them. They are a set of usually 20 MCQs from a particular subject. So now we have made the number come to 25. Third, there is an MIQ series going on, which is of a different subject. Again, around 20 to 25 MCQs are covered, which is again free for everyone, with live discussion happening on YouTube of the same test at 7 p.m. So now we have reached 50. Then I am giving you almost 16 questions every day in my Obs and Gynae channel. Currently, I am doing two subjects. One is obviously Obs and Gynae, the other is surgery. So, which means now we have reached around 66 questions for the day. If you follow Dams Delhi Telegram channel, we are giving almost 10 to 20 mixed bag, very high yielding questions currently in the Telegram, which makes us reach about 80 or 90 MCQs a day. Plus, if you follow Dr. Sumay's channel, you'll get 5 radiology questions every day, again, top-notch quality. So now we've reached 95. So, if you just follow us and the daily targets we're giving you, you are anyways very easily going to cover 100 MCQs in test format, in mixed bag format, in subject-wise format, every single day. And the resources that I've mentioned are not paid. These are all free resources, okay, that we are offering at DAMS Alpha. So all this is absolutely free for everyone, the one that I mentioned. Please ensure that you are utilizing this. We are doing a lot of free teaching on Telegram as well, just to keep you people on track. हम especially उसके लिए time निकाल रहे हैं as faculty, so that we are with you in this phase. Okay, so I think now
I
we should end the
we
session and we'll come back to you.
session today with a note from Dr. Ayush Badani. He is there in the comment. Ayush, it is great to meet you as well. You are now doing your MS final years, and
And Ayush
yes,
is a very, very dear student. I remember him even now, and I'm sure he remembers me as well. But yes, he was a wonderful boy, very, very consistent. Or he was someone who used to follow every single thing. And Ayush, I'll always remember you as a very, very, dear student. And I'm so happy to see you doing well in life.
So I think on that note, we wish you all the best, and we are here to all tell you that boss सब ठीक होगा, घबराओ नहीं। जिंदगी में मतलब ऐसा लगता है आपके मुकाम पे कि खाली एग्जाम ही सब कुछ है, जिंदगी बहुत बड़ी है। देयर विल बी मेनी थिंग्स कमिंग अप इन योर लाइफ, बहुत वेव्स की तरह अप एंड डाउन आएगा। तो ये मत सोच के वेव्स के अप एंड डाउन को रोक लेगा, ये सोच के उसको सर्फ कैसे करेंगे एंड एंजॉय कैसे करेंगे। विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट बेटा, कीप रॉकिंग, हैव अ प्रोडक्टिव डे अहेड।